Have you ever noticed how the most dangerous moments in life aren't always the obvious ones? They're not the cliff edges with warning signs or the clearly marked hazards. Instead, danger often creeps in during those seemingly ordinary moments when we think we've got everything under control. Today, we're exploring that invisible line where confidence crosses into complacency and caution quietly slips away. Think about learning to drive. In your first few weeks behind the wheel, every intersection feels significant. You check your mirrors constantly. You grip the steering wheel, and you stay hyper-aware of everything around you. But 6 months later, something changes. You start reaching for your coffee while merging. You might glance at your phone at a red light. You've driven this route 100 times, so your mind wanders to tonight's dinner plans instead of the road ahead. This is exactly where caution starts to fade. The psychology behind this phenomenon is fascinating. Our brains are incredibly efficient machines, always looking for ways to conserve energy. When we repeat an activity successfully, our brain creates shortcuts, moving tasks from conscious thoughts to automatic behavior. This is wonderful for many aspects of life, but it creates a hidden vulnerability. We become so comfortable with the routine that we stop seeing the risks that are still very much present. Consider workplace safety. Statistics show that experienced workers often have more accidents than beginners. Why? Because familiarity breeds a false sense of security. The construction worker who has climbed that ladder daily for 5 years might skip putting on his safety harness one morning. The chef who has used that mandolin slicer countless times might rush through prep work without the safety guard. They're not being reckless on purpose. They've simply crossed that invisible threshold where caution fades. This pattern appears everywhere. Hikers get lost on trails they've walked dozens of times because they stop paying attention to landmarks. Swimmers venture further from shore in familiar waters because past success makes them overconfident. Home cooks leave the stove unattended because nothing has gone wrong before. Each scenario shares the same root cause. Success creates comfort, and comfort erodes vigilance. The challenge is that we can't maintain peak alertness at all times. That would be mentally exhausting and practically impossible. So what's the solution? Awareness is the first step. Simply recognizing that this psychological shift happens helps us guard against it. When you catch yourself thinking, "I've done this 1,000 times," that's your cue to pause and refocus. Experts recommend building deliberate checkpoints into your routine activities. Pilots use pre-flight checklists, even after thousands of flights. Surgeons perform timeouts before procedures regardless of their experience level. These aren't signs of incompetence. They're acknowledgments of human nature and intelligent safeguards against complacency. You can create your own version of this. Before you start a routine task, take just 3 seconds to ask yourself, what are the risks here? This small mental check can break the autopilot mode. Another powerful strategy is to change your perspective periodically. Ask yourself, if I were doing this for the very first time today, what would I do differently? This mental reset can restore some of that beginner's caution without you having to be inexperienced. You're borrowing that fresh-eyed vigilance to keep yourself safe. You could also try visualizing what could go wrong. It's not about being pessimistic. It's about being prepared. By thinking through potential problems, you stay mentally engaged and ready to react if something unexpected happens. Remember, caution doesn't fade because we're careless people. It fades because we're human, and our brains work to make repeated tasks feel easier. The key is recognizing those moments when familiarity whispers that we can relax our guard. That's precisely when we need to listen closer, look harder, and think twice. Don't let your experience become your biggest blind spot. A healthy dose of caution is a sign of wisdom, not fear. Stay safe out there and never let comfort completely replace caution. Your future self will thank you for it. Thanks for watching. And if you found this helpful, be sure to subscribe for more.